All right, looks like we are live. Familia. Welcome to another session. We are finishing off the book that we started yesterday, and I'm really excited because it's coming together nicely, and we're almost done. So, if you are ready, let's get going. If you are watching this after this has been recorded, you know, maybe subscribe and hit that bell notification so you get notified when I go live, and then you could participate in these community journals. We're going to be making some more in the future. And then one thing that I think I want to do with this particular journal is for us to all create a community journal together. Um, I'm excited about that because that means that you guys get to decide, what goes in it. And I have something planned. So hopefully we could make some awesome stuff soon. All right, perfect. Sorry, I'm just clicking away. I'm announcing that we're live so that we can get some more people on here. Let me create a new post and say, we are live. Come and journal with me. Bam, there it is. And as you're coming in to the live chat, just go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let us know that you're here. Um, Even if it's just a hi, um, that helps. We're going to get started in just a bit. Let me just recap what we did yesterday. Oh, sorry, I need to fix my mic. Um, to recap what we did yesterday, this is the lost fold I was missing yesterday, but we all decided that we were going to go with yellow and orange. What do you call it? Yellow and orange tape. And you also decided that half of it was going to be in this foliage and mushroom washi tape, and that worked out really well. I like this one. I'm not too fond of this one, if I could be honest. But it doesn't matter. We created it together. I'm just being honest with you. We created it together, um, and I'm leaving it. But for this last one, I am gonna go with one of these, and you all are gonna get to decide. Hello from Australia. Awesome. Welcome. Emersa Productions. Welcome. Erica Ayala sitting in the other room. Welcome. Saying hi. Um, if you haven't already, go ahead and stop by and say hi. Don't be shy. Just say hello. You don't have to interact with everybody else. Just want to make sure that you're here, that you hear me okay, and that you're ready to go. Um, if you missed yesterday's live, I will link it in the description down below. But yesterday we decided, or I decided, that I was going to no longer make journals in my store bought journal. Let me let me show you. Hey, what's up, Ivan? Welcome. I love this journal. This is probably my favorite brand of store bought journals. It's not meant to be a journal, it's meant to be a sketchbook. And I still have some pages left to go. And I will complete it, but I'm trying to build a journal that's going to replace it once I'm done with this. And so I do have a few pages. You could see I started writing a little bit bigger just so I can get through it a little bit faster because I was writing pretty small. And so we are going to finish this one hopefully. I don't know. I want to say maybe by maybe November, December. Um, it's going to kill me because I'm really going to be eager to use whatever it is that we make here together. And so I can't get through this fast enough. I'm probably going to have to cut out a few sheets just like I did here and use them as scrap, or maybe make another journal out of these scrap papers. So tear some out and then make a little journal out of this paper, which is really great paper. I love cardstock paper. I think this is a 75 pound, I think, 75-pound paper. and we used what I believe is the same stock, 75-pound paper yesterday. What we did was we cut four 12 by 12 sheets in writing half so we can get 6 by 12. And then we folded the 12 in fours. And we ran into an issue of how we were going to bring those corners together, because up until now, what I've done to join two separate accordion together has been this. I've been left over with a little bit of paper at the end, and then I cut a piece and then use that to join them together. This time we took a risk and we said no to that. And now I'm going to have an extra flap, which means that this one's going to get sacrificed. But I have a plan for this last sheet and how we're going to mount it onto the journal. And so yesterday, Erica and I went to the Hobby Lobby to pick up some more paper, and I ended up picking up a sheet that is off-white. It's the wrong color. I didn't care. I was gonna switch it, but I decided that I was gonna cut a few pieces today and add white, so it was gonna be like this cream color and then white, or a lighter cream color. And then I remember that I had stashed this in my other journal. That's why we miscounted. I was like, wait a minute, I thought I counted, I must have counted wrong. So all we're going to do today is we're going to attach this last sheet to our journal, and then we're going to attach the bookends. I'm sorry, not the bookends, the cover, and call this book complete. So this is a book that we all build together. Jennifer Parra says hello from the DR. Hey, welcome. Everyone, welcome. All right, so let's get started. If you're ready, let's go. All right, so yesterday we ran into the issue of how we were going to join them, and we decided that we were going to join them with washi tape instead of that joint. So we opened our journal up like this, and we brought our two parts together and clipped. That's the word. We clipped the bottom portion of it just so that those two won't move. And then what we did was we laid it flat. And my mistake was that yesterday I laid it flat like this, and I was working this way when I should be working this way, I think. Or yeah, this way's better, because then I can place this edge right on this line, and it doesn't matter if the washi is transparent or not. As long as I follow this line, I'll be good. You see, we solve these problems together. We always, as you can see, like you'll run into an issue, and if you just ask yourself, like, how can I get this done easier, you'll think of something. I'm sure you'll think of something. So then now I put this in this corner right here in this box, and now I can guide myself on this line. And as long as I'm centered on that line, I'll be centered on the paper too. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go here and try my best to, oh, that's not my best, I promise. We're going to go here. And what sucks is that we're always going to lose some up there, but I do it this way before I cut the paper so that I can not lose much at the bottom. Otherwise, I'll cut the tape, paste it, and then cut both sides, and I'll lose on both sides. This is just one way that I will only lose some material on one side and not on both. There we go. Seal this off, and then go here and bring that there. And then I will actually I'll set this aside because I'll use that for some like a collage or something. And then we will open up this way and fold it and try to tap the tape so that it tapes onto the top portion of the of the two papers and then fold. Maybe fold in the center. There it is. Just like that. So excited to see how this turns out. I know, me too. Me too. That's why I had to do the live today. I'm like, I can't wait till Monday. Come on now. I'm not gonna wait. And there it is. So that's the last fold. I don't know what to call these. They're not signatures, are they? I don't know. Would that count as signatures? Who knows? So there we have it. We have our journal, both sides of our journal. And actually, I think I connected it on the wrong side. I think we were supposed to go on the other side, so it could, yeah, it was supposed to be on the other side. But oh well, doesn't matter. It is what it is. We're here now. All right. So now we're going to attach the covers. And for that, we need some cardboard. Now, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to work and how we're going to connect these here. I thought about a cereal box, which is really thin cardboard. Roman, what's up? From our friend from Ukraine, right? Is that right? I think I saw your comment yesterday that you were from Ukraine. And then so we have that option. We also have a much thicker option, which is like there's a thicker cardboard than the what's it called? Than the cereal boxes, and that's using like a Amazon box, but that's way too thick, and I'm okay with that. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try something completely new, and I'm gonna go with these scrap pieces of boxes that I don't think I'm gonna use as a cover, because I don't see myself having a journal like this with this thing on the outside, or this really. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut those two pieces. I'm gonna cut 4 pieces, and then I'm gonna use that flap, this, and I'm gonna sandwich it. So one piece is gonna be on this side and one piece is gonna be on that side. And that's gonna be the cover. And it's gonna be backwards so that the white is showing. And then if we want to, we could cover it with another sheet of paper, maybe like a yellow or an orange. I don't know. We'll pick something. All right. Does that sound good? Good. That's what we're going to do. So let's try it. Why not? We're experimenting here. It's the first journal of its kind like this that I'm making. And so we're going to try it. Why not? All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this crease just a little farther out. I don't like that it's right at the edge. So for that, I'm going to grab my ruler. I'm going to align the crease here with this line so I know where it is. And then I'm going to just set my ruler just outside of that. And then, I moved it. Set my ruler just outside of that line and hold firmly. That's not firmly. I moved it again. And then just use my finger to crease right outside of that. Oh, let me fold it some more. And then bring my bone folder and crease it. You guys are following? You're making hardcover or soft? It's gonna be more than likely soft. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna. I don't know how soft it's gonna be, because I'm taking a soft cover, but I'm doubling it. So I'm giving it just a slight thickness. Again, here, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just testing it out. It might work, and then I might say, no, that's not cool, but I'll leave it anyway. And then I'll make note, and then I'll learn, and I'll know that that's not a good uh, approach or a good way. All right. So a little better, I think. This side needed some more. Actually, because we're sandwiching it, I'm going to give it a little bit more. And again, familia, I have no idea. Actually, I'm going to bring this out so that I can align the ruler to the, do it backwards. I'm going to align the ruler to the line. Maybe that's better. I have no idea. Oh, actually, maybe I'll leave it like that. How about that? Look at that. Because then the sheet will, yeah. I know what I'm doing in my head. It's hard for me to explain it. So why don't I just do it and then you'll see. All right, let's cut this paper, or this block is going to get cut into 2 parts. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to mark it on the outside. I'm not going to cut that line. I'm just going to cut outside of it. I'm just making this line so I know how thick my journal is. I'll take the scissors, and I'm going to loosely cut on the outside. And then I'll grab my ruler and my blade, and I'll cut it to size. Flyleaf? Again, I said I don't know what I'm doing, so I have no idea what a flyleaf is. I'm assuming that you're meaning like this? No. Flyleaf and then the cover. Maybe. All right, so I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to cut right on the line. That's never failed me before. So I'm going to go I'm going to go slightly over the line. I can always trim and fix that afterwards. I usually don't like to go for the whole cut on the first go. I like to cut, make the line, make the groove, and then hit it. Let me separate these now, actually, because I'm cutting slightly outside. Sorry. And you can go on the line or slightly outside, however you want to do it. Right now, I'm just going slightly outside of it. I know I'm going to have to trim later. And I just want to make sure that I have the room to trim it, a little extra room. I've been watching videos of people who stitch what are they called? Signatures together. Oh man, I got a mosquito with one hand. I've been trying to get him, like smack him, and then I just literally went like that and I got it. Not today, buddy. Or maybe you already had lunch, but not tomorrow. Lunch is over. Sorry. Would anybody like to tell us how they came to journaling? Like what prompted you to journal or, to take pen and paper and write? And then also what type of journaling you like to do? I know that some of you already shared, but I want to hear it again. And while you share your story, I'll share mine. When I was younger, I had a sales job that was incredibly stressful. I'm talking like they would pull you into an office and tell you if you didn't sell in 2 days, you were not going to have a job. And I panicked. And then I would sell, but I'd always with that fear of like, am I going to sell today? Am I going to sell today or not? And I would wake up in the mornings really sick to my stomach. I mean, like I wanted to throw up, and I hated that feeling. I hated that feeling. And one day, they had never pulled me into that office, but one day they did, and I was so sick to my stomach. I went and applied for another job the next day, and then I got it. I got another job. Oh, am I gonna have enough material here? I'm not gonna have enough with this one. Hmm. Hmm. All right, we'll figure something out. For now, this is gonna be, or maybe this could just be the inside, like this, and it's blank. Soft cover. No, I need hardcover. Huh. All right, more problem solving. So yeah, I was pulled into the office, and then I was really nervous. And the next day, I went and applied for another job, and I got another job. Instead of sales, I got a customer service job, answering calls on the phone with IKEA. I loved that job. That was a perfect job for me. Um, then they moved that call center to Baltimore, and I was jobless. Um, and they did this 2 months after I had bought my first truck, and so I was stuck with a truck payment and no job. And then I found another job, and that was a temporary job, and I was just stress central. I'd wake up every morning just dreading going to work, and my brain would play this game, the what if game. You ever play that game? What if I lose my job? What if I lose my truck? What if I don't get anything, another job? What if I'm always going to be jobless? What if this? What if that? And like, just what if? Going to bed, you're like, what if I don't get any sleep and then I'm tired? What if I crash because I'm tired? What if? And the anxiety had a hold on me. And then I was introduced to a guy named Tony Robbins. Uh, there's a lot of feelings about him. Some of you like him, some of you don't. And either way, hearing some of his stuff really changed my life. And I was introduced to NLP. And then I I was just like, I'm not turning back. I'm getting hold of my mind, and no one's going to tell me that. No one's going to tell me that you cannot take control of your own mind and change your perspective on things. And NLP and journaling and writing down, it started out as taking notes of the things that I would hear, but then I was writing my own notes, and then just journaling went down from there. Okay, sorry. I was reaching for another piece of cardboard that I saw on hand so I don't have to go look for more. Totally unprepared. Look at that. So we're going to use this. We're going to use a piece of this actually. Let me see. Oh, do I want to keep the Jack in the Box head or not? You know what? We're taking risks today. Oh, actually, I'm going to have to use both. Sorry, I'm going to have to sacrifice this. Dun, dun, dun. Sacrifice? Yes, sacrifice. As we say, ni modo. Oh well. Actually, I may not have to sacrifice it if I write this down right. So that's kind of my story. And then on and off, I was journaling, and on and off, I was just listening to people like Jim Rohn and Les Brown and all these other motivational speakers, I guess you can call them. And little by little, my mindset just started to get better. And now the anxiety does creep in every once in a while, and the depression does creep in every once in a while. But I'm fully equipped with the tools to battle it, and I can say confidently that it's all been thanks to journaling. Journaling has been that kind of blessing to me in my life, and it's answered a lot of deep questions too that a lot of people don't like to ask, and it's taking me down some pretty dark um, dark paths into my unknown, into me, into myself. Anyone have those? Anyone have a journey inward? Have you? I've been journaling since I was a kid. Let's see. I've been journaling since I was a kid, back when diaries was we had the locks. Yes, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I remember them. And you had to make sure you didn't lose the key. Oh boy, yeah. Ooh, sales is a rough job. Yeah, it is. Crud, I missed a lot. No, you haven't actually, not much. And I'm gonna have to watch when it gets posted. Sure, no problem, man. Oh, you're still at work. Okay, no worry, Ivan. We're here. You know how to find us. Eventually, I'll get a schedule for these lives, so you don't miss them. I like to use Moleskine notebooks for my daily psychology diary. It really helps at the moment. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds a lot like how my anxiety would take a hold of me. It still does sometimes, but I have a lot of tools to help me move forward. Yeah, exactly. A daily psychology diary. That sounds interesting. I do something similar with tracking my mental health symptoms and my mood, energy levels. Yeah, tracking. I heard tracking helps. Tracking for some reason is just it's not for me. I I want to, and I've gone to it every once in a while. I do some tracking, but then once I think I'm back on track, I drop it. Is that I don't know. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that okay? I don't know. It's okay for me. Can you make a notebook out of scraps? Yeah, sure, we will. We can, and I usually have. I've made some out of scraps. Shadow work. Yeah. Good evening. Hey, on the road. What's up? Welcome back. When I was in a group therapy a handful of years ago, they used cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, and they were a game changer for sure, especially reframing. Yeah, reframing, my favorite. Seriously, reframing. I do that constantly, and um, I don't know. It's not for everybody because it takes a little extra work, right? Your brain automatically wants to frame the situation. It wants to put a frame around the situation and say this is bad. This is a bad situation, and it's your job to say, um, how can this be good? If this were a good thing, what evidence is there that it's a good thing? And then you're just changing the frame. Um, that's been helpful to me. It is sometimes I have to like trick myself and lie to myself and say, give people the benefit of the doubt when they're stepping out of line or they're stepping over boundaries. But um but reframing reframing there's a lot of information out there, and you know what? I'm gonna be the one to say it. I know that there's a lot of channels, and no, I'm not knocking any channels. Okay, this is not. I don't want to have a negative thing going, but everybody finds their lane and what works for them, and you stick with that lane. You know, if anything that I show you seems cool, but it's gonna take you out of something that works for you, don't listen to me. Don't. You know, I might show you something, and it'll make sense to you logically. It'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Duh, track this or track that, or use these tools. Cool. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And then you apply them and then you feel lost, then don't, because you already have something that's intuitively right for you. Um, you know, like I imagine that junk journaling for some people, it's like very therapeutic, and it is because you're taking scraps, you're taking things that are like are supposed to be trash, and you make something beautiful out of it, and it's like you're organizing a mess, you know. But not everybody can junk journal. Some people would get lost. It's like, what, like this is too chaotic for me, and so they'd be lost, and won't be able to gain anything from junk journaling. And the same goes for bullet journaling. As simple as bullet journaling is, and as like helpful and effective it is to get things done, it's not going to be for everybody. And then not to mention, you see some spreads on like Pinterest and you're like, oh, that's awesome, like I can draw this and do that, and have you know, and have an awesome spread. And then you take the time on like on a Sunday to prepare your weekly spreads, and then you're wondering like, man, I just spent 2 hours doing this, I don't have 2 hours like that. And then it's not for you, you know. So don't do it. um let's see, I don't know if it's weird, but I once what is it? Busted myself after reading one of the fantasies I wrote on my journal. Oh, okay. I guess thank you for sharing. Um, I really enjoyed the video you did. What you did either last week or earlier this week, with folding the piece of notebook paper to track what you do throughout the day. Oh, was it? I think at the end of my other journal, right? I had a little bit of a bullet, like a tracker. Was that it? I think that's what you're talking about. It may not be. All right, cool. So we're gonna just join these together. So here's the idea. I'm gonna run the idea through you, by you. I'm gonna put this one here, and then glue it. Yeah, I'm gonna glue it, and then I'm gonna take this one and glue it. And now I have a thick cover, and the piece of paper is sandwiched inside, so I don't run the risk of it falling out, which means that I probably won't need to tape it. I probably will not need to tape the outside, which gives me the flexibility of either drawing my own thing here or taking another sheet. Like, let me see if I have a sheet here. I don't know, taking like this color and gluing it, and now I have, you know, a journal that's yellow or orange or what have you, right? But first, I'm going to glue this together and see how that works out. And the other issue that I had run into yesterday is that the journal, one flap was going this way and the other one ended this way. So I did need that extra piece of that extra strip, or else this would have been the end. And so I would have had one this way and one that way. And I didn't want that. I wanted both of them to face the same direction, like this, outward. So we attach that, and now I'm going to sandwich this other one on the other side, and we're going to have ourselves a thicker journal, and the journal is going to go like this. We're going to open up our journal, boom, like this, and it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Did I count that right? 22, 23. Or actually 22, because this one's going to also be sandwiched. 22. And then once we get to the end, you can flip it around and you're going to have another 22. So a total of 44 pages, which is good enough for 1 month of journaling, of regular journaling. So I don't know. Let's do it. And by the way, I got this idea because I was watching videos yesterday on how people were stitching journals together. And I follow, I don't know if you guys know this guy. You probably do. This guy's awesome. And I've seen dozens of videos out there, and none of them made sense like this guy made sense. His name is Ido um, Asagi, I want to say. Asago or something like that. Um, and he's this really patient, gentle man that reminds me of my grandfather. And he's stitching, and he explains everything so perfectly, and he handles the paper so beautifully and so perfectly. And he had these strips that were hanging on the side after he had stitched it, and he used those strips to sandwich a piece of cardboard, and so that those strips were holding the whole thing together. And I'm like, oh, cool. Well, I can just use, see what I'm saying? Like, you take that idea, and it's not quite the same idea. I'm not taking pieces of strip paper and using it. What I'm doing is I'm taking that last flap and joining it. So watch other people's videos and be curious and say, hey, what if I did that? But how can I improve that? Or how can I modify my journal that way? And you'll be surprised with how many wonderful ideas you can pick up just by doing that. All right, so because I'm doing that on both sides of the journal, I'm gonna have extra piece here that I can trim later. All right, but I'm gonna wait until it all comes together. Okay, let's move. Let's move, Leo. You're talking too much. All right, here we go. Um, I'm gonna have to add glue on this one, which means it's gonna be faster if I did this versus uh, the other glue. So I'm gonna sacrifice one of these cheap brushes. Actually, let me see if I can find a thicker one. Here, this one. Sorry, brush. You're not getting used for paint anyway, so you might as well serve a purpose for a book, right? All right, here we go. So we're gonna put some glue on here. I like this tacky glue. It's very versatile and Mod Podge. Mod Podge. There was a time where I was doing some signs, and I was gluing. It's not really wood; it's like fake wood, but or compressed wood, I should say, and it wasn't holding really well. So I had to switch over to like a crazy glue. And once I started charging people to make their signs, I was like, I can't give them something that's gonna fall apart. I need to give them something that's gonna hold. So I switched over to that, and it worked out well. There we go. I need one of those brushes like that guy Ito has. It's a giant brush, and he has like a giant jar of glue that he just dunks in there. He's so confident too, but confidence comes with practice, I think. Ooh, I got to write that down in my confidence journal. Right, here we go. I'm not even sure if this is going to work or not. I'm just testing things out, testing the waters. I could have done it the other way, but this journal already started by trying something different. And why not continue that? Why not keep that going? All right, let's set this down somewhere over yonder. All right, and now let's take this and fold it in. It sounds like this that I wish I had a press machine. Don't get any ideas, Leo. Don't worry, Erica. I'm not going to go buy a press machine. Or am I? Oh, I think I went. This isn't right. Leo. Oh no. Okay, wait, but no, I have to before it dries. I was too high. I mean, I was too not high. Leonardo, stop making jokes. Focus. All right, there it is. All right, I hope that holds still. It will. It will. I had to remove it because I wasn't even on the cardboard down here, and I need it to be on the cardboard. Otherwise, this whole thing falls apart. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea. This is a test. I might have just ruined our perfectly good journal, but it doesn't matter what it looks like. It will be used, and we're gonna all remember this day that Leo messed up a perfectly good notebook. I'm missing some glue right here on the inside. Let me see if I can squeeze some glue in there. There's still some on the brush. Just gonna, boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. I really enjoy the video. Okay, let's see, what is that for? Such a cool idea. I've noticed a big trend in people doing book bindings, so of course I'm eventually going to try it out myself. I think I'm gonna turn out the way you want it to once it's all finished. I hope so. I mean, that's usually how it goes. There's a little moment where I'm really nervous, and then it's like, oh, and then at the end it's like, oh, yeah, that worked out. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied with that. So this paper is still wet, but we are still going to add the other board on top of it. So now the other one's just going to be like this on top of that. And it might be a little crooked, but we'll trim it and we'll make it work. I didn't hinge this time. Should I hinge? Let's try hinging it. Why not? Yeah. All right, sure. Why not? Doesn't hurt, right? We're testing this out. We're exploring, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And we're documenting this, of course, so that in the future, when we're ready to make this book again, we know exactly what we did and we could just do that again. And we know where we went wrong and we can avoid that. And then also, just like a scientist would, document our findings, and then we learn. I should have done that. You see, that's where I went wrong. I got too confident, and then it went crooked. But you learn. Yeah. All right. So then after I peeled it, I could see the grooves of some of the paper that came off. So, good thing that's on the inside. It's going to get hidden anyway. So let's repeat. All right. Let's grab our brush. Come here, brush. And we're going to go and spread our glue. I need a better brush or a thinner glue, because this one, once it grabs onto the paper, the brush drags. Or maybe I'm not applying it right. I don't know. How are we doing? Are we enjoying this video? Are we enjoying this little get together, little session? Y'all having fun? Watching some random dude on the internet put glue on a piece of paper? Did you ever think, hey, one day I'm going to watch a guy put glue on a piece of paper? Probably not. Yeah, so throughout the years, I've run into a lot of issues in my life, and journaling has always been that thing that saves me. And not just the writing down, but the looking back, the setting intentions, the reviewing, the checking with myself to see if I still feel the same way about that issue or whatever. There it is. Look at that. See how much cleaner that was? And there it is. And then we press down. I don't want to get glue on my bone folder, man, but oh well. Wait. let me. Oh, I don't have that extra piece of paper. Oh, that feels nice. That's nice and thick. That's really good. That's great. I think what we're going to do today is just put these covers together, and then I'm gonna put something heavy on top of them to press it to make sure that they stick, and then we'll finish this another day probably, or at least the cover another day. But for the most part, our book is. Look at that! Oh man! Oh, this is the feeling that I love the most when I'm almost there. Like I'm not even finished, but I love the way that felt right now when I opened this and I saw this. It's like I made this. Like that feeling. You know that feeling? It's a great feeling. That's why I encourage people to make their own, because it's one thing to make it, and then once you start using it, you're like, wow, this didn't exist, and now I thought about it, and then it existed. That's how that worked. That's cool. It's great. Wow, great. All right. So now I have to do the same thing I did to this one, which is push this over just a little bit, just a tiny little bit, just a little bit. We can push this thing to the side just a little bit. Ba-dum-bum. All right. So I learned my lesson. Instead of aligning this to that line and then eyeballing it, I'm just putting this line where I want the crease to be, and then I just set my ruler up right along that line. Press firmly, and without pushing too much, just lift this up so that you can make the crease right along that ruler. And I'm saying, like, don't rush it, because then you push the ruler over, because you can't gauge the strength in what you're going to do, and that ruler is going to move. So to avoid that, do it gentle first, and now you have that. Boom, look at that. See that? That's beautiful. Hey, it's the internet. It's a melting pot of interest and personality. Yeah, that's right. Some cool guy. Thank you for thinking I'm cool. You kind of have to. It's looking fantastic. I never stay consistent with journaling because I've always felt it needed to look a certain way, but you show me that there's so many ways to do it. There are dozens of ways to journal, and that's exactly it. Like, you have permission, not from me, from yourself. You have full permission to make it messy. That's actually something I learned from the book. Wait, was it on the book Steal Like an Artist? No, it wasn't. It was, I forgot who said it. Maybe it was Tom Sachs who said, make it messy and fix it later. But make it. Like, if you're inspired and you have a thought, you don't have time to make it clean. Get the thought down on paper. Maybe if you don't want to ruin your nice journal, get the thought on a scrap piece of paper, right? And then transfer it over in a neater way. That's what I think. I don't know. That's what I would do. If you insist on it being neat, do it that way. So I cut 2 other pieces of tape, which I should have just recycled the 2 previous ones, but that's okay. I'm gonna I make sure that I get it on the fold here, like this. And now I created a hinge. I'm gonna put some glue on this, close the hinge, done. But I feel like somebody's watching me. I'm just kidding. I need to protect my cutting board, whatever it's called. I need to protect it. All right, here we go. Please tell me, could you make a box for your notebooks? You know what? I don't know how to make a box for my notebook. I did consider it yesterday when we were at Michael's. I'm sorry, not Michael's. We were at the Hobby Lobby. I saw a box that I really liked, and I took a video with my meta glasses as my little way of being sneaky and taking video and pictures and stuff of things that I like, and then going back and making them. And I took a little video clip of a box that I really like, and I'm going to try to make it. And coincidentally, that guy Ito Asagi, I think his name is, the guy that I saw do some stitching yesterday, he has a tutorial on how to make some boxes, and he made a box for a book that he wrote or he published with a friend of his. So I will link his channel in the description, so you can just follow, and maybe you can follow his tutorial. Maybe it's something that works for you. He's awesome. I respect him a lot as a teacher because he is patient, and he takes into consideration the fact that you're not a professional like he is. Look at that. That was easier. You see that, guys? That was a lot easier to do it that way. All right, so now we got to fold it this way, and I'm going to reverse it this way so I can get the bone folder. And that was way easier, better, faster, smoother. Now I look like a professional. See how tape can make you look like a professional? Remember that. Unless you're like an electrician, and you have like tape everywhere, like you just duct tape everywhere, or like you're some kind of like a handyman and then you just duct tape everything together instead of doing it right. Okay, so now we know, okay, for future videos, for future journals that are made this way, hinge, 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 do the hinge, do the hinge, do the hinge, and then sorry, I gotta close that. I think that should be enough with my finger instead of Leonardo, don't be lazy. See how I talk to myself? Don't be lazy and do it the right way. Or don't do it at all, because you're trying to make this nice and neat, or you're trying to get it to look nice. Not to impress the internet people, but because you have the capacity to do something the right way, because it says more about who you are to yourself than who you are to other people, because everybody has opinions, but your opinion about yourself is the one that matters the most. I'm talking to myself. If I'm talking to you too, then you do what you will with that information, but I'm mostly talking to myself. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's cutting it close, but I think this one could be a little wider. Risk it for the biscuit. Just risk it, and then we will should we? No, it's going to be right on the money if I hold it there. No, we're going to risk it. We really are going to risk it here. We're going to take some more new tape. When I was a kid, my uncle told my mom, "Hey, I think Leo's crazy." And I was like 3 or 4, and then my mom goes, "Why?" It's because he talks to himself. And then I don't know. I always say, "Hey, as long as I wasn't arguing with myself, I think everything's fine. Don't worry about it." But I do talk to myself, and I talk to myself in the way exactly like I did right now. It's like tough love. Like, hey, come on, get it together. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not nice to myself. I am, but when it comes to like getting myself together, I'm like, no, bro, don't do that. All right, cool. You see how that came out a lot better than the previous one because it was the first time. The first time doesn't always look so clean. I got this mosquito that's just like circling me. I hear him buzzing, and then I feel him like tap on my shoulder. He's like, I mean, on my elbow. He's like, "Get a little lunch, little lunch." Not today. All right. So here we go. We're I don't know which direction to go. I'm pretty sure there is a right way of doing this, but we're gonna go this way, this route. I want to stay away from this edge anyway because this cover doesn't go all the way to the edge. So all right, that's interesting. I'm also in the moment. You want to you sorry, I don't know how to talk. What you're looking for, Leo or everybody else, is watch what the glue is doing. How's it behaving? Change the way that you're spreading it to see if there's an easier way, and make a quick mental note so that like, oh yeah, okay, when I held the brush up like this, it's harder, but if I angle it, it's smoother, it's better. Or hey, maybe next time test another glue, and like a scientist, make note of it. Just make note. That's all that is. You see what works and you use it, and then you see what doesn't work and you trash it. That's the Bruce Lee approach. Cool. So before that dries, the hinge, look at that. The hinge is beautiful. The hinge is a must. Press down, press down, press down, press down, press down, press down. Lay it flat on this side. Bone folder. Let's go. Flip it over. Bone folder. Let's go. All right, it's messy, but it's working. All right, familia. Moment of truth. Look, I don't mind these little messy markings. We're not leaving it white anyway, but if I wanted to, I could leave it that way and just force myself to be okay with it and say, hey, the imperfections are what makes this yours. Oh man, look at this. Okay, yes, the covers are crooked. Okay, yes, they are. Not denying that. However, I'm going to lay them flat and let them press, or I don't know, I'll find a way of pressing it. And then here's how it looks. So this is the cover. We open it. We journal all the way up till 22nd page, and then we come to the end. And what just got it? Oh, I thought I got another one. And just when we think we're done, we're not. We continue on this other side. That mosquito. And there we go. We have our 44-page book. Slightly crooked because, of course, we're taping the paper, so it goes like, some of the pages start wanting to go in that angle. But yeah, I'm going to lay it flat with some heavy things on top and then see what it looks like. And then on another live, we will add a color to it, or tape, or I don't know. I could just take some washi tape and just tape it all up. Right? So that's how this is coming along. Got these colors here. These are cool because they can serve as a reference point. So I'm like, I know that I was journaling something important when in the orange, or go back. And what I'm thinking of doing too, I don't know if you were here for yesterday's, but if I get to the back and let's just say that I'm done here on this and I still have some more, what I'll do is I'll still leave this blank. And what I'll do is when I'm reviewing my notes, I can say, oh yeah, on this date, I need to update that, and then just update over here. Update September 26th on the entry, on such and such entry, I was dealing with this issue, and that's been resolved. And I did this to resolve it. Much better for it. Blah, blah, blah. You know, or hey, on this day, my shoulders were burning, but I did this stretch and it helped. And then in the future, when I look back at this, I'll be like, I'll look and see how I resolved my issues, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Hey, my shoulder was hurting the other day. I can fix it this way again. It's you helping you in the future, you know, and what's cool is you get to see it. The other cooler thing, one of the reasons why I journal is that one day I'm not going to be here. I'm just not going to be here anymore. And as sad as that may be, all that's going to be left behind is going to be this. And what I want my kids to see and see, like, oh man, my dad, he went through this, he saw this, he did that. Or when they have my journals, they can be like, hey, you want to see what grandpa was doing on the 26th of, same with the videos. Hey, you want to see grandpa make that journal? This journal, that grandpa made this journal on YouTube. You could see how it was made, and look how he filled it. Look at that. You could still see his dirty fingerprints on it. Or look at amateur hour. Look at that. Look at that. Somebody come look at this. Look how stupid that looks. How crooked. And like, oh, but look, he fixed it on this side. This side looks better. Anyway, projecting onto the future. All right, I think that's it for now. We're gonna close this up, and we're gonna cover our glue. Geez, what are we doing? Cover our glue and lay something heavy on this, and just let it sit and dry. And that's probably gonna be a day or two. So thank you all so much for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend, doing your weekend stuff. And we'll see you on the next adventure, okay? Peace.